Alright guys, what's up? It's Charmin here. I thought about making this video for a while now, so I figured, why not? It stinks, but Smash Ultimate doesn't really have a tutorial like other games, and so I figured I'd put together the compilation of things that I've learned into a little series that I'm calling Smash for Dummies. So this first video hopefully will give you a feel for the basic controls in the game and then some of the common terminology that I'm seeing people use. Thanks to everybody on the stream that's helped teach me the game, and I just want to impart the knowledge that people have given to me onto everybody else, and that way we can all learn the game together. And that way when you're seeing other posts or other videos and people are using terminology like fair or bear, you know what they mean. You know how to do the moves, and you understand the basic concepts you have in the game. So with that, we'll get right into things. Alright, so the first thing I want to cover is movement. So the first type of movement is walking, where you can just take your left stick and move it gently to one side or the other. The next thing is dashing, where you take your left stick and you move it all the way to the perimeter very quickly and then let go. And you'll move a set distance every time you do this. And you can do this back and forth. Running is where you dash, but then you hold the stick in that direction. So you can see I first dash and then I start running. The next thing is crouch moving. So you can hold down with some characters to crouch and then rotate the stick in either direction and you'll cause a crouch move. The reason why we have Luigi is he's one of the characters in the game that can do that, whereas Marth, which is the character I typically play, cannot. So then there's jumping, which can either be done with the Y or the X button on the default layout, and that'll just cause you to jump in the air. You can also stick jump, which I have turned off particularly for reasons I'll cover later, but you can just push the left stick up and it'll cause you to jump as well if you have a completely default layout. So the next thing is hopping, and hopping is jumping not as high as a full jump. So if I just press and hold Y, you can see I go pretty high into the air. If I just tap Y, you can see I only go a little bit up. And the harder I tap it, the further I go up. So you can kind of control how you jump in that regard. The next thing to know is that most characters can double jump. Just like that. So once you're in the air, regardless of the height you're at, you can always hit jump again. And then you can use your directions to control that. Some characters like Kirby and Meta Knight and Jigglypuff have multiple air jumps, and you just have to learn those characters, but every character I've played can at least double jump, so that's something to know. The next thing you can do when you're in the air is you can fast fall. So if you notice, I jump all the way up, that's the regular speed of falling. If I slam the stick down, like I'm dashing on the ground, but I'm just dashing straight down, I'll do what's called a fast fall. So you'll see I move down very quickly when I do that. The good thing is on hops, you can kind of move down extremely quick, especially after a move. So if I were to hop and then fast fall, I get to the ground much quicker than when I don't. Yep, see that's a fast fall right there, and that is not. So it gives you some different speed and recovery that you can do. The next thing I want to cover is dropping from platforms, which we don't have on this map, so I will switch maps. Alright, so some stages have platforms, and some do not. The stage I was on before did not have any, and this stage obviously does. Some platforms cannot be dropped through, and some can. On Battlefield, you can drop through every platform, and to do that, you just slam down. If you tilt down, so just gently pushing down, you'll crouch. If you slam it down like you're dashing, you'll go through the platform. Okay, so the next thing I want to cover is attacking. The game has two different attack buttons, A and B. A is typically your regular attacks, and B is considered your special attacks. Outside of the neutral A and neutral B, you can also do directional attacks. So first we'll cover tilting, which is just like walking with tilting your stick. You will gently move your stick in the direction and then hit A. So that is Marth's tilt, forward tilt. Compared to his neutral, you can see the attack looks different. There's also up tilt and down tilt. The reason why tilting can be difficult sometimes is the default layout has stick jumping on, and so when you push up on the stick, you'll typically jump. I had trouble personally up tilting when that setting was on, so I turned it off, so now I can safely push the stick up and get an up tilt or an up smash without having to worry that my character will jump if I don't time it right. The next thing to cover is smash attacks. These are also done with the A button. The difference is instead of tilting your stick forward like for the walk, we're going to smash it forward like we did for the dash. And so smash attacks are all directional. You can't smash a neutral A or anything like that. So if we do forward smash, which is slamming the stick forward and then A, you can see he does smash. There's also up smash and down smash. Every character's smash attack is a little different, so you have to try them out, but typically they can all be charged. So you can see I can just smash and let go right away, or I can smash and charge. Some people use, on the default layout, the C stick, that little yellow stick if you're using a GameCube controller, or just the right stick if you're using any other type. And that's by default set to smash, so if you just flick that stick in the different directions, you'll get different smashes. You can also flick and hold to get hold smashes in those directions. So the next thing to cover is all the specials. So I showed before the neutral special, but every direction has a special as well. So Marth has his up special, or what a lot of people call up B. Then there's his forward B and his down B. So typically you'll hear three types of attacks. You'll hear forward, up, and down tilt, and you'll hear forward, up, and down smash, and then up B, forward B, and down B. And then there's always the neutrals as well. So the next thing is aerial attacks. And those are attacks when you're in the air that you can do. You cannot smash in the air. So if you use the smash stick by default, you can see I'm not getting my typical grounded smash attacks, and I can't charge them. So you can do aerial attacks with the A button and not worry about smashing. So you can just kind of put the stick in any direction and attack. And just so you guys know, your up air is just up and A. Your forward air is forward and A, which is typically called fair. You have a down air, which is down and A. And then you have a back air, which is back and A. The back air can be a little tricky because your character will change directions sometimes how you're jumping, so you always want to take into account which way your character is facing, and then make sure you hit back. So that's Marth's forward air, that's Marth's back air. Back airs are typically called bears, so if you hear that term, don't worry about it. There's also neutral airs, which is just not pushing any direction and hitting A as well. And those are called nairs, typically. The other thing you can do is use your specials in the air, so we can do up B, we can do our down B, and we can do our side B. So specials and air attacks are valid in the air, and smashes are not. The next kind of attack is a dash attack. So when you dash, you can hold forward an A during the dash, and you can get a dash attack. If you hit it too early, you can see you get smashed. So you want the dash to start and then hit A. You can also let go of the stick on the dash and come out in a neutral A. And if you're running, typically you will always get the dash. Then there's also throwing, which can be done with the Z button. So once you're in throw, like this, if you don't do anything, they'll actually kind of jump out of it naturally. So when you're in the throw, you can hit A or B, and you can do some damage. If you keep hitting A for too long, they just come out. So you can see I can hit A twice. And the higher percentage they are, the more time I can hit them. You can also push up to do an up throw. You can push down to do a down throw. You can push back to do a back throw. And you can push forward to do a forward throw. In other games, typically you have to input the up, down, or forward in the process of doing the throw. In this game, you can input it after you've already grabbed them. And in some cases, you can actually grab them, hit them once, and then throw them, just to get a little extra damage on there. Okay, so the next thing I want to cover is what's called DI. And DI stands for Directional Influence. And so sometimes when you're at a certain percentage, you just can't help it. You're going to get smashed off the stage if you get hit by certain moves. However, at some percentages, you can do something about it. So around 90%, if I don't do anything, Lucas is going to hit me off the stage. However, if I hit the stick to the right just as he's hitting me, I can influence the direction at which I'm flying and prevent myself from going off the stage like that. And it's a timing thing, so you kind of have to hit it at the right time. Otherwise, you're going to get knocked off. If I hit it way too late, then what's going to happen is I just don't have time to react. If I hit it at the right time, well, that wasn't the right time. When I hit it right there at the right time, I have enough time to react and to save myself from going off the stage. DI is kind of difficult, at least for me, but the important thing is you want to kind of always be trying to direct your character in the opposite direction that they're flying and get them back to the stage. So the other thing to cover is instant recovery. So sometimes when you get knocked to the ground, you can get up right away if you'd like. So if I hit my shield button as soon as I hit the ground, you see I pop right back up. If I don't, I'll actually lay on the ground until I hit a direction. So sometimes you want to mix up your recovery, and you want to be able to wake right up. And that means just hit the shield button right before you hit the ground. Outside of that, as far as wake-up options go, we can deal with shielding directly on the ground. So to shield, you hold the left or the right trigger, either one, and you get this little shield. Now, the longer you hold it, and the more attacks you absorb, it goes away. And if you let it get all the way down, you'll be in a stunned state, which basically means you're going to get smashed really quick. Now you can, as the bubble gets smaller, protect certain parts of your body. So the shield only protects the part of your body that it covers. So when it's small like this, if I get hit in the head, I'm still going to get hit. As it gets small, I can tilt up on my stick, and I can protect my head if I think that somebody's going to go for an aerial attack. Now, the interesting thing, and I'll cover spot dodging later, is that if I push down while just holding the shield button, you see how I kind of dodged and then the shield appeared at my feet? That's because shielding and down is spot dodging. If you want to tilt your shield down, you can hold both shield buttons, and then you can freely move up, down, left, right, etc., and the shield will rotate with you. If you only hold one shield button, you can only really push up. The reason for that is there is rolling that happens out of shield. So if I hold one shield button and I push forward, I do a little roll dash. Now the downside to doing this over and over and over and over again is, I don't know if you can tell, but the speed at which I'm rolling and the speed at which I can recover to do the next one has slowed down. If I start over, it's a little quicker, and then the more I use it, it just slows down. And it makes you more vulnerable, so you don't want to do it too often. But because of that mechanic, you need to hold both shields to move the shield forward and backward. If you only hold one, you're going to get the roll. So while you're shielding and your opponent's attacking you, you have a couple options to get out of it. While you're holding shield, you can throw, which is just either hitting Z or hitting A. And you can throw out of shield. You can also roll out of shield, as I discussed. And you can spot dodge out of shield, which gives you a little invulnerability to attacks and throws. Next, you can jump. You can't attack out of shield because A is throw. And if you push B, nothing happens. So your only options are to jump, throw, roll, or spot dodge. Okay, so the next thing to cover is air dodging. So in the air, you can hit the shield button, and you can actually directionally dodge. You can also just hit the shield button and dodge in place. The thing to note is that directional air dodging has more recovery than in-place dodging. When you're flashing, you have a period of invulnerability during the air dodge, and then towards the end, when you're floating, you can't perform any actions, you're actually vulnerable. So be careful that the opponent doesn't predict what you're going to do and punish your air dodge, but if you have it available and they're coming to hit you out of the air, you can air dodge through their attacks and stay safe. Also, as far as recovery goes, neutral dodge has less recovery, as I said, than directional dodging. So make sure you're using the one that best fits the situation. The other thing that air dodge can do is it can grab the ledge, like that. So if you're off the map and you're going towards the ledge and you want to make sure that somebody doesn't smash you away from the ledge or hit you away from the ledge, when you get close to the ledge, you can just air dodge at the ledge. And you have invincibility going towards the ledge, and then invincibility when you first grab the ledge. So it's a semi-safe way to grab the ledge. The next part is what can you do when you're actually on the ledge? How can you get off of it? This is a pretty important part of the game. The game doesn't really cover your options. You have to figure it out yourself. So you can push the jump button, and you'll jump off the ledge like that. You can push A, B, or Z, and you'll attack off the ledge. So that was A. That was B. You see it's the same attack. And that was C. The other thing you can do is you can hit the shield button when you're on the ledge. So you can tap it, and you will roll towards the center of the stage. You can also hold it, and you'll come out of that roll with the shield. So of course, as you're rolling, you can come out with an attack or whatever you want from there. But the important thing is you can roll out, jump out, attack out. The other thing is if you tap forward, you'll just hop out and stay right on the stage. If you tap back, you'll actually pull off back away. And you can do things like recover with an attack, a different attack. So Marth has a really good fair. So pulling back, jumping, and then using his fair can sometimes give you a sneaky way to get back on stage and hit the opponent away. You can also pull straight down, although you got to be careful because you'll start to fast fall if you hit it a little too hard. So you just gently pull down and you can just come down off the stage as well. That covers everything as far as basic controls, basic inputs, basic movement, basic attacks. Obviously, there's a lot more advanced things that you can do with some of these things, and I'll cover some of that in later videos, but this should give you, if you're maybe new to the series like I was, a decent understanding of how to play the game, how to attack, and what your different options are. It's unfortunate, like I said, the game doesn't have a tutorial, but I hope this helps out and gives you guys a good starting point. Thanks, and see you guys next time.